In this video, we're going to look at how to add or subtract polynomials. So first of all, we notice the operations in here. We have plus, minus, 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 plus, minus, plus, and minus, also the parentheses. And notice, although we do have multiplications, so if you see between 5 and x squared, we have multiplications, but we cannot really multiply 5 and x squared, because we don't know what x is. Same thing here, between 3 and x, we don't know what x is, so we're not going to be able to multiply a number 3 and a variable x. So it seems like we have multiplication that we need to do, but we cannot really do it. And so that only leaves us the addition subtraction. So this problem is adding and subtracting, and no multiplications involved. And there are different ways we can do. But to help you avoid mistakes, I highly recommend that you get rid of all the parentheses. So again, imagine a pair of parentheses being a box. So you need to get everything out of the box so you can combine, sort them out and combine them. Okay, so first the pair of parentheses, there's nothing in front of it, but you can think of it as a 1. You can distribute 1 to everything inside, because one box means you're distributing a number 1 to everything. But as you can see, after you distribute 1, nothing's going to change, because everything times 1 will be itself. So you're still going to get 5x squared plus 3x minus 7. So pretty much you just get rid of the parentheses without doing anything. But the other two, notice there's a minus sign in front of the parentheses. Again, if you don't, you can just distribute a minus sign to everything inside. But if you don't like that, you can put a little 1 in front of it. So you're distributing -1. So you'll be doing -1 times 9. That gives you -9. And bring down x squared. And times, because we cannot really multiply then, so we just bring down. And -1 times -8, that gives us positive x. Notice the sign change here. So it's not going to be, originally when this is in the box, it's minus 8x. But when you get this out of the box, because this minus sign, that's distributed to -8x, that would turn negative, positive. Okay, the -1 times +1 gives us negative. Again, it was positive in the box, but after you get this out of the box, it's turned to a minus, because negative times positive is negative. Same thing here. So you're going to distribute -1 to all of this, and you can get negative times 7 is -7. Negative times positive, it's negative x, -1x. Well, the 1 can be omitted. -1 times -5, that gives you plus. So again, these two signs are changed. So now we just need to, I already have everything here, so I'm going to get rid of my writing. And as you can see, all the parentheses are gone. Now we need to combine like terms. And you can highlight the like terms. For example, all the x squares can be combined. It's more like after you open all the boxes, you took everything out. Now you can put the like things together. So for example, all the x's and all the x squares and all the x's and the rest of them will be the numbers. Well, I think for the numbers, maybe use this color, 7, minus 1, and a plus 5. And so you can do this in your mind, 5 plus minus 9, right here for all the x's. So x squares, 5 minus 9 minus 7. Do this on your scratch paper. So 5 minus 9 is -4. -4 minus 7 is -11, because it's $4 debt minus plus $7 debt. And then the x's, we have a 3 plus 8 minus 1. And there's nothing in front of this x, but it's a 1, because x means you have 1 copy of x. So we got 11 minus 1, that's a 10. That's how I got 10 right here. And finally, -7 minus 1 plus 5. So we have -1 minus 1, -7 minus 1, $7 debt plus $1 debt, $8 debt plus 5. And because we have $8 debt but $5 credit. So because we have more debt, so the answer is still going to be debt and minus. And $8 debt is compared to $5 credit, $3 more. So you write down the number 3. Okay, so the answer is that's how I got -3. And then second example, and we have two pairs of parentheses. One of them is one pair is embedded inside another pair. And the reason we use the square brackets is for us to see easily which one goes with which one. So these two go together and these two go together. And when we have problems like this, I recommend that you start from the innermost. If you don't want to start from the innermost, it will also work, but you have to be very careful with that. And I noticed some students, they make mistakes when they do that. So let's try to start from the innermost. And also the other thing is, don't try to get rid of parentheses and the brackets altogether, because it's very tricky to do that, and you probably will make mistakes. So again, imagine parentheses as like a box, and we have an we start with the start innermost, and we have another pair, so it's sort of like another box. So we have one box inside another box. So if you're inside the inner box and you try to break out, and you have to break out the first box, so that's why usually it's better to start from the innermost, and then you break out the second box. Okay, so let's start from the innermost, and we're going to use the distributive property again. So there's a -1 in front of it. We distribute -1 to 6. That gives us -6x. -1 times +1 is -1. Pay attention to the sign changes. So that's what we got after we distribute -1. So we broke out the first box. Now we just need to break out the second box. And the other one thing you could do here is, notice in this box we have two like terms. So if you want, you can go ahead and combine them, or you can do this later. So I went ahead and combined the -3 and x and -6x to get -9. Again, $3 debt plus $6 debt, it's $9 debt. And now I'm gonna it's kind of like you after you break out the first box, you notice there's some other things here maybe that can be combined with the things inside the box. So you went ahead and did that and sorted them out, combined things together, and then try to get them out of both of them out of the box again. So now we have nothing in front of the brackets, and you can be careful. We're not distributing -5x because it's plus. And if you remember the distributive property, it's always something times something plus or minus something. So in the box, it's either plus or minus. But in front of the box or following the box, the number you're going to distribute, it's going to be multiplication here. So if it's plus here, we cannot distribute. It has to be multiplication. And so that's why, because this is plus, we cannot distribute -5x. So what we're going to distribute is, again, there's nothing in front of there's not a number. I mean, technically, we're just distributing the plus sign to them. But if you don't like distributing plus sign, you can put a 1 here. But it's going to be the same thing. Say if you distribute plus sign, positive times negative is negative. Positive times negative is negative. So you get the same thing. Or you distribute a 1, and notice when you do 1 times -9 is still -9x, and 1 times -1 is still -1. So either way it works, whether you're distributing a plus sign or you're distributing +1. So we got that. Now we got everything out of the box, so we just need to combine these two like terms. And again, -5 minus 9, it's like doing -$5 debt plus $9 debt. So that gives us $14 debt. And 1, because we don't have any like terms to combine, we just leave it. And -14x and -1, they're not like terms, so we cannot combine them any further.